Hello! Welcome, my lovely viewers, to another episode of JavaScript, episode 7. I hope the past videos would have been useful for you and you learned something new from them. Today, we will discuss a new topic, but before that, let's have a review of what we learned in the last 2 episodes. So, without further ado, let's jump into the video. The last 2 episodes were about conditions, which I talked about if and else's and also switch, which I show you the structure of it real quick. It starts with writing switch, then any variable you want to check, then there's case, which is actually our if, and the action it would do based on the case. You also know that after every case, you need to write break in order to be able to use another case. We had another thing called default, which it's used when none of the cases in your switch structure doesn't happen. So instead, this default would run instead of all those actions or cases. Like here, for example, error 404. I don't have a variable called a, so it should either run default or show me an error. Let's see. Yeah, I have errors here because, as I said, variable a is not defined yet. So let's make it real quick. And I still have error. Oh, forgot to write break here. And I still have the same goddamn error. Oh my god. Alright, problem solved. I needed to write this pixel in double quotation. So don't forget to write anything in double quotation in front of case, unless if it's a number. So let's start the new topic. Today I will talk about functions. Function serves as a bowl of codes where they never change. Imagine that you're designing a web, and there are, for example, 6 lines of code that you need to use all over your site over and over. So instead of writing all those 6 lines of code each time and waste your time, you would instead put them all in a bowl and you use that bowl instead. With functions, your code will get easier to run too. We have different types of functions, which today I will only talk about name functions. Name functions, as the name suggests, have names, while the other types does not need any names. And the base of the code is like this. For example, function pixel shimu. In here, the name of our channel is also the name of this function. So whenever I want to call this function, I should write pixel shimu. All the codes that you need to do, all the codes that you need to use in function should be written in these brackets. This is the body of functions. So let me write a simple function here. If a is bigger than b, console.log a. This code will print a for me. And if a isn't bigger than b, console.log b. So it should print b for me. Why do I have an error here? Alright, I get it. You don't need to write any else's here. But there's one problem here. I don't have any a and b variables. So why am I not seeing any errors? The answer is simple, because they are a part of my function here. It doesn't matter if I have those variables or not. As long as they are in function, I won't get any errors. The function doesn't care if these variables exist or not. So now I will write these variables. A equals 10 divided by 4 and b equals 20 divided by 10. And I should call my function now, pixel shimu. Now that I have my function here, the code in it will run without any need to write the actual code again. You can see a is 2.5, and because a was bigger than b here, I got a in output. You now know that it doesn't matter where or how you're defining these variables. This function doesn't care. It only runs the code inside it. It is better if you write the variable names in these brackets in front of the name, so your function wouldn't need to search for them every time. And there's an interesting thing about this bracket. You don't even need to use the same name for your variables. For example, let me change these two, variable 1 and variable 2. But I need to make a relation for them. If I run it like this, it would get an error. It's very simple. You should only write the name of your variables in these brackets. I basically said that variable a is equal to... No. I basically said that variable 1 is equal to a and variable 2 is equal to b. And you can keep doing it as much as you want. You also can change their places, like variable 1 is equal to b, and it goes on. So with this rule, you can name your variables whatever you like without having any issues. Now if I check the output, I would still get a. You now know what function is and how it works. As I said, it's a bowl of code where you can eat from it anywhere you want. Let's use it in a condition, for instance. We have a variable called isConnected and it's true. Now if isConnected equals false, run this function. The output should be empty because the variable is true. But if I change it here, you see a equals 2.5. And today's topic is finished, but your work isn't. You have homework. I would need you all to write me a function with 4 different variables, a, b, c, d. It should first print the smallest and the biggest number, which you can do with series of if, like if a is smaller than b and a is smaller than c and a is smaller than d, and it goes on. After that, you write an if, where if something is true, it should run your function just like I exactly did here. And if you wish, send the codes in our Discord so we can check them. And we're done today. Thank you guys for watching. Like always, don't forget to like, making that subscribe button happy, and the most important, stay hydrated. Goodbye. I swear to God, if you make a fanboy out of me once again, I just leave this channel.